Hi! A while ago I showed you how to crochet a Scandinavian devil hat or baby hat, and I have had a couple of different questions about this pattern, and recently I got this question which is in Danish, so I won't read it to you, but basically it says, when you complete a round with a chain stitch, do you start with a chain stitch also, or do you just continue doing single crochet? And I understand why this question comes up, and I think I wanted to make a video rather than just respond to it, because there might be other people who think this is a strange concept too. And the reason that is because you can crochet around, and when you get back to, this is just the crochet piece, right? When you get back to the beginning, you have an option of either doing a chain stitch to secure it, so that you have completed this round, and now this part of the round is at the same level as this part of the round, or you can continue by working on top, so that you would work around in a spiral. So the spiral would basically be like if you took a piece of rope and you just put it around and around and around. You would always have the end be higher. You would always have the end sit here, so this would be the end of the rope, right? You'd always have the end higher up, and that is not always a good idea. And the other thing also gives a little bit of a seam, so that's not always a good idea either. So you need to choose which one you want. It's a preference thing. In my patterns, I usually complete my rounds, because I really want to make sure that I keep the stitch count. So I usually go around and then I complete it with a chain stitch so that I can begin the next round and work around. So the thing here is, normally if I write chain stitch to join, chain one to start. What I'm trying to ask you to do is to go one step up before you start doing your single crochets. So basically, if you just start single crocheting, you will get a slope rather than a 90-degree angle. Of course, you never get up 90 degree angles with yarn, but you know what I mean. You start with a chain stitch to get you up a little bit in height, and then you can do your single crochet around. When you get back to the beginning, you will have a jog, and to finish that, you will do your chain stitch, and you will continue on with that. That might be a little bit complicated for you to, because it's complicated for me to try and explain, but I will show you with some yarn now. Okay, so this is what we have. We have the start of the round here and the end of the round here. And in between them, we have a little jog. So I need to close this gap, and I'm doing that with a chain stitch. So I'm just going in here and making a chain stitch. Now, what I have is a completed round. I have one completed round, and I would like to make another round around it. So basically, I'm now working in concentric rounds, and they are completed. And when I then move on, what I want to do is I want to start with a chain stitch to get myself up in height. And then I want to do single crochets around. So I'll just make a couple here. So what you will notice is, as I said, this will be concentric. So the next round starts here and it ends here. And when I continue working around, my end will end up here, and I will be able to finish this round so that it is closed, and I can then again do one chain stitch, and then I can work around again. So making rounds after each other. If I do the spiral method, what I will do is, instead of finishing with a chain stitch, I will just make one single crochet in the first stitch here, and then I will continue doing single crochets. And as I said before, what I will end up with is, you can basically see where I started here, but when I move on, you probably won't be able to see where I started. So I don't have a beginning really, but I do have an end. So this is the end of the rope, and the rope doesn't start anywhere. So I won't be able to make concentric rounds, but I will make this spiral, and therefore I won't get a seam, and it has different advantages. You can definitely do this on the pattern that I made, but you can also do the other method, which I prefer because then I know for sure when my start of the round is and when the end of it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next Friday.
Sign off!